because I refuse to let my fighter get in the ring with someone that has loaded gloves. If this issue isn't resolved, I will not let my fighter into the ring.
The drama surrounding this fight began long before the first punch was thrown. It started in whispers, in accusations, intense locker room exchanges and watchful eyes hovering over every strip of gauze and tape. Because I refused to let my fighter get in the ring with someone that has loaded gloves, Fulton's side insisted. They claimed there was proof that Naoya Inoue's hands were wrapped with excessive tape layered in a way that felt suspicious. They tried to raise doubts before the lights ever dimmed. They tried to plant a seed of controversy before history had a chance to bloom. But when fight night arrived in Tokyo, every inch of tape was inspected, every layer scrutinized. Everything was legal. There would be no scandal, no disqualification, no asterisk. Only 2 champions, 2 unbeaten legacies, and 12 rounds to decide who truly ruled at 122 pounds. Naoya Inoue entered that arena already carrying the weight of greatness. He had conquered 3 divisions. He had unified titles. He had stood in the fire with Nonito Donaire in one of the most brutal and unforgettable wars of his career.
Just the way it is, for better.
Absorbing punishment, breaking an orbital bone, and still emerging victorious. That first fight with Donaire tested his spirit. The rematch erased all doubt. Inoue didn't just win the second time, he dismantled a legend with clinical violence, a cold and methodical destruction that reminded the world that the monster was evolving. Jason Maloney fell to a crushing counter. Paul Butler was toyed with, dissected, and ultimately stopped as Inoue claimed undisputed status at bantamweight, becoming the first Asian fighter in history to hold all 4 belts in a single division. He made it look effortless, hands behind his back at times, turning a championship bout into what seemed like a sparring session. But comfort was never the goal. Dominance was never enough. Inoue wanted more. He wanted a 4th division. He wanted the king at super bantamweight. Stephen Fulton was no placeholder champion. He was undefeated, unified, respected. He had won the WBO title in a brutal close-quarters war with Angelo Leo, proving he could fight in a phone booth as well as he could box at range. He had then unified against Brandon Figueroa in a savage battle that demanded grit as much as skill. Fulton stood his ground in that fight, trading heavy shots, refusing to break under pressure. He was slick, yes, but he was tough. He was supposed to be the bigger man, the more natural 122-pounder, the sharper boxer, the American technician who would finally expose the limits of the monster. The narrative was clear. Inoue was jumping up in weight. Fulton was in his prime. Size matters, they said. Reach matters. Experience at the weight matters. The story was already written for some. This would be the night the hype cracked.
Make them believers, he said. The task is in front of him to defend his titles.
Then the bell rang. From the opening seconds, Inoue erased the script. There was no cautious feeling-out process. No timid adjustment period to a new division. He came forward fast, sharp, balanced. His lead hand hovered low, confident. His jab snapped with authority, matching and often beating Fulton's to the target. The supposed superior boxer found himself being out-jabbed, out-timed, out-positioned. Inoue wasn't recklessly hunting a knockout. He was building a structure, laying a foundation of pressure and precision. Every combination carried purpose. A double jab upstairs flowed into a right hand, then dipped to the body. He changed levels effortlessly, forcing Fulton to reset again and again. The speed was blinding. Not just hand speed but mental speed. Inoue saw openings before they fully formed. He would step just outside the line of fire, then explode back in with torque that seemed to come from his core, his legs, his entire being. Even when partially blocked, his punches moved Fulton backward. By round 3, something subtle had shifted. Fulton's footwork, once light and calculating, slowed. His jab lost its sting. He hesitated in that dangerous middle ground, close enough to be hit but too unsure to commit. The man who was supposed to be the slicker boxer was being systematically outboxed. Inoue wasn't merely applying pressure. He was controlling the geometry of the ring, cutting it off with small, efficient steps, keeping Fulton directly in front of him, exactly where he wanted him. The Tokyo crowd sat in a respectful hush, so quiet that the instructions from each corner echoed through the arena. It felt almost surreal. In that subdued atmosphere, every thudding right hand sounded heavier, more ominous. Inoue's jab became the key. It disrupted rhythm, disguised power shots, set up body attacks. When Fulton tried to counter, he found Inoue already gone or firing back instantly. There was no safe exchange, no free punch. As the rounds ticked by, the punch statistics told the story. Inoue's output increased. His accuracy sharpened. He began landing combinations at will, upstairs and downstairs, blood starting to trickle from Fulton's nose.
Supremely intelligent boxer as well. Good combination from Inoue. More blood coming from the nose.
Fulton's jab, what I'm seeing,
To be more offensive-minded against the monster. As he does for a moment, does Fulton. Then backs out with his hands up.
Fulton attempted to adjust, trying to come forward, trying to change rhythm, but hesitation haunted him. He feared what would come back. Every time he paused, Inoue filled the silence with leather. By the 6th and 7th rounds, the inevitability hung thick in the air. Inoue never stopped hunting. Even when calm, even when patient, there was always that underlying threat. He wasn't rushing the finish, but he was tightening the screws. Each exchange chipped away at Fulton's confidence. Each right hand reminded him that the power had traveled up in weight without losing a single ounce of menace. Then it happened. A massive right hand detonated, snapping Fulton's head and sending him reeling. Inoue chased him down with cold urgency.
Places him down! Fulton is laid out, struggling to get to his feet.
Another combination crashed through the guard. Fulton staggered, trying to hold on, trying to find his legs, but the monster was already there, closing distance, firing with controlled fury. The referee had seen enough. At 1 minute and 14 seconds into round 8, it was over. No controversy. No loaded gloves. No excuses. Naoya Inoue had moved up to 122 pounds and gone straight for the undefeated unified champion. No tune-up. No soft landing. He chose the hardest available path and walked it without hesitation. He didn't just win. He dominated. He outboxed the boxer. He broke the bigger man. He claimed 2 more belts and etched his name deeper into boxing history as a 4-division world champion. What made it extraordinary wasn't just the knockout. It was the way he did it. The intelligence. The patience. The layered attack. Inoue proved that he is not merely a puncher with frightening power. He is a supremely intelligent fighter who understands timing, distance, rhythm, and fear. He senses when his opponent is second-guessing himself, and he punishes that doubt mercilessly. Fulton was supposed to be the slick test, the stylistic puzzle. Instead, he became another chapter in the monster's ascent. Another reminder that greatness isn't just about collecting belts. It's about seeking the most dangerous challenges and making them look manageable. If you felt the magnitude of this performance, if you believe we're watching one of the greatest fighters of this era, let me know in the comments. Can anyone at 122 dethrone the monster? Or is undisputed in a 2nd division inevitable? Make sure you like this video if you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more dramatic deep dives into boxing's biggest nights, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter in the rise of legends.